Hey everybody, it's a payroll video. This payroll video specifically is going to help you answer questions you have about if you're running a small business and say you have a business where you're a business owner and you pay yourself as the business owner on a different pay cycle than you'll pay the rest of your employees. I've encountered this a few different times in the past, and it does get a little bit complicated when you want to program the payroll in Excel file to accomplish this. So I'm going to explain the process of how to do this and show you this example here with a business that's going to be paying bi-weekly or every 2 weeks generally for all employees, but the business owner will receive the pay only once a month. How do you marry the two of those together in this file? Because the file wants to have a pattern. It wants to have a pay cycle that's standard for everybody. It wants to have this bi-weekly pay cycle where the paychecks come out every other Friday and the pay period ends on Sunday. That's generally going to be the way that this is set up for all employees, except for the business owner. So let's talk about how we accomplish that. First of all, is you have to isolate the employee that's going to be paid differently. In this case, it's employee one is the business owner slot. So after you fill out all the information from the W-4 and the employee information about the business owner, you can, which I've talked about in other videos, we won't focus on that in this video. We'll take a look at the pay period record sheet where everything that's under the hood, all of the different formulas are that are related to this. And this is where we start to have differences from other employees. We have to look at is the pay period ending, which is this column D. You'll see that some of these dates are in black and some of these dates are in yellow. Now, the cool thing about this payroll file is anytime you type over one of the cells that's a formula, and the formula cells are generally these black background with white font, those are columns and cells that are going to be formulas. Anytime you type over them with something and manually change anything, it's going to pop up in yellow. It's going to help you notice and notify you that you have typed over information. So what I've done here is I've typed over the last pay period of the month and put the final day of the month, because this client would like to have at the end of every month, they're going to pay themselves for that month of work. So I've adjusted these pay cycles, which would be something different. Normally this would be a pay cycle that ends on the 28th if it's every 2 weeks, but we're not going to end it on the 28th. We're going to end it on the 31st. We want to end it on the end of each month. So we go through find each payroll cycle and end it on the end of the month. So this is going to give you a spot to enter in your wages for that month. In this case, we're paying this owner $2,000 at the end of the month. So here you've got pay period 131, paying the employee 2,000 or paying the owner $2,000. If the owner pays himself by an hour or an hourly rate, you're going to want to enter those hours in here. You are not going to want to use the daily entry sheet for the business owner. You can use the daily entry sheet for all the other employees because they're properly going to be aligned with their pay periods, but you don't want to use the daily entry sheet for the business owner. You want to sum up any hours for the month and override them right in here, right next to the month. So if they work 100 hours and their rate is $10 an hour, whatever it is, you would put that information here right in this line. And then you won't have any problems at all. Everything will just work. And the way that the tax rates are being calculated appropriately is we have a bunch of different tax rate formulas over here for the state of Michigan and for the federal government. And the way these tax formulas work is they annualize your wages and then they divide the tax that's calculated by the number of pay periods that are in the year. And what ends up changing between the owner and the other employees is the number of pay periods in the year. The owner is only going to have 12 pay periods in the year because the owner is paid every month, and all the other employees are going to have 26 pay periods in the year because they're paid every 2 weeks. So that's basically how you handle this. Is everything else is set up bi-weekly, but the owner gets slightly different information. I'm showing you all the different pay periods that exist right here. Yeah. Yeah, these are all the 26 pay periods that exist for the biweekly employees. So I've adjusted all of these formulas that are related to how many pay periods are in the year and adjusted just the formulas that are related to the business owner in this top section here. I've adjusted all of those to reflect just the 12 pay periods in the year. And there's some formulas that involve, show you deep in here, this annualized wage formula. This is a 12 here at the end of this formula instead of matrix cell B7 is what is referenced in this formula for all the other employees, and matrix cell B7 is this 26 right here, matrix cell B7. So it's a little bit annoying to set this up at the very beginning, but it does work, and you can really make this adjustment any way you would like to adjust. If you have a few employees that are paid on a different cycle, all you have to do is make the manual adjustments right here in the pay period record sheet to reflect that. And also, another thing that you'll need to do is the pay stubs and the quarters that are related to that employee. So the business owner gets paid at the end of the month on the day. There's no delay after the pay period ends to calculate and generate the check. It's just the end of the month. The employer, the business owner, is going to pay themselves. So you also have to manually adjust the pay dates. When we look at the pay stubs, mostly you'll have a 2-week cycle to choose from. You know, these are all the different pay dates for the employees. But when you're looking at the business owner, you'll see the business owner is going to want to choose different pay dates that are down at the bottom. Business owner is going to want to choose these pay dates that are monthly, 131, 229, and it will change this to say for the month of instead of another pay period date, which will show when you're looking at other employees, or it'll actually give you the pay period date, and the paycheck date will be reflective of the appropriate paycheck date, not the end date as it appears for the business owner. Paycheck date exactly on the same date as the end of the pay period. So it's doable. It works with all the reports. You can do the reports, the 941 reports by quarter or by month. This will accurately put the correct information. You can see the business owner paid themselves at the end of January. These other employees had a couple pay periods that were in the month of January. All this stuff works and it flows forward correctly. So it can be done. Altering different pay cycles throughout the year can be a bit annoying, but we can do it here. And the dynamic pivot records all the information, and you can always expand out and see exactly where the pay periods are for each employee. And the W-2 works, and the matrix works, and the 1099 works, and everything works. So if you have a business that has some of those complicated scenarios where you'd like to pay a business owner or even a certain segment of employees at a different pay rate, and you want to have it all consolidated in one payroll file, I can help you with that. I can set that up for you and get you a payroll file. You can check out kenbraverman.com to purchase a copy for 2024 or even any previous years you might need, because I've been doing this for a long time. All right, good luck. Payroll should be easy. And even when it's not easy, we try to make it as easy as we can here. All right, so good luck. Enjoy. Payroll, like I said, should be easy, and we're making it so.